Y'all, this April 8th eclipse is about to be one of the biggest events in our lifetime. As I have been taking more time for myself and doing my own soul journey work, I wanted to pause for a moment and share some information with you that's been coming up that I feel like may be relevant and helpful for you all. There is a lot of advice that I have seen being shared and given out that I believe could actually have the opposite effect that it is intended to have, where people are saying that you would benefit from going outside to watch the eclipse and things like this. And I couldn't disagree with that more. I think that the opposite is more beneficial, which is to use this time to go within yourself. Use this time to determine what you want to rebirth, what you're ready to release, what you're ready to edit in your Akashic record. What parts of your soul are you ready to retrieve? As you all know, this soul journey is about reclaiming the parts of our soul that were fragmented in this incarnation. And so this is why we are healing and being called to focus on this. This eclipse will definitely be a crossroad. It will be a bridge. And depending on your focus, your intent, and how you are cultivating your spiritual journey is going to determine the outcome of this. So, some of the things that I would like to bring up. Number one, with this eclipse, during this time that it is happening, I believe that the marriage between the masculine and feminine is symbolized in eclipses. So with this particular eclipse, an X is being created across the United States. And we are 400 odd years out from the Willie Lynch letters, which was a spell casting by sorcerers to put people in an oppressive slave mind state. This wasn't the first time this happened on this planet. This happened many times, but this was one of the most recent times. And the pain that caused must be healed. And right now, all of this Aries energy is all about your self-identification, your self-realization. And for those of you who understand occult talk, self-deification, becoming the divine embodiment of yourself, the God, Goddess. So this is a great time for you to invest in meditation and doing that. I have not decided if I'm going to release this or not to the public. Something that I may do for April 8th to help escort those who would like to be escorted through this, using the mother tongue light language, which is the mother creation language that bypasses the subconscious mind to activate dormant cellular memory, to unlock certain wisdom locked within the Akashic records from previous lifetimes and your indigenous DNA, because this is what has been under attack, the indigenous DNA, for us to have explosive, dark moments, crimes of passion, moments where you say things that you might regret later that you really did not mean, moments where you lose your temper, moments where you just go 0 to 60 and maybe you do too much. This is a time to refrain from that. This is a time to refrain from confrontation, especially with toxic people. This is a time to refrain from trying to fix major issues within relationships and more so focus on yourself, being able to allow your silence to speak more than you responding to situations. Because if drama is unfolding anywhere in your life, and you allow yourself to become a participant in that drama, you are dropping an anchor in the underworld. So you're going to experience the fruits of the underworld. During this time period, people who know how to choose a higher frequency and people who know how to work with their emotions, people who are doing the shadow work, knowing how to alchemically turn shadows into light, turn shadows into supernatural powers, which I've been talking about for many years now. If you are doing that work, this is going to have a completely different impact on you, and you're going to need to enforce boundaries around the work that you have been doing on yourself so that you are not allowing other people who are being taken over by their own inner demons to opt you into things that are going to create more problems for you in the future. The next takeaway regarding this eclipse is that NASA is going to be sending up 3 rockets that has been publicly released. And they are calling these rockets APEP. Now, APEP is one of the gods of ancient Kemet. APEP is considered to be a serpentine god of the embodiment of disorder, the embodiment of darkness and chaos. Opposite of APEP or Apophis is Mayat, which is order and truth. If Ra is the bringer of light and Ra is going to be darkened, as we can see, there is going to be increased darkness, increased disorder. If you have been doing the alchemical work, or you are ready to begin doing the work, you will be able to anchor order and truth, the energy of Mayat, during this time. And what's interesting is that we're in the Aries season, and Mayat is Libra in the zodiac, which is on the completely opposite side. And currently, that is where the South Node is positioned. The South Node represents where we're coming from, what we are here to overcome. So any imbalances in reciprocity in your relationships is going to be highlighted right now. If the scales have not been even, it will be highlighted right now. For those whose heart is heavy and not light as a feather, that is going to be highlighted right now. And it is best to become an observer and try to stay away from judging the situation. The abode of APEP is the underworld or the duat. This is not a physical place. This is more so a psychological place. Now, we also know that NASA is saying that they're trying to collect data, but we could also say collect the energy, to understand the energy so that it can be used for whatever agendas that they have. The blockages and the interference that is being caused by this is to disconnect us from the powers of the celestial planetary movement in which we are connected to. Much of this can be seen with what's happening with certain illnesses. And I know a lot of us in the awakening community are noticing things with our physical body and mental and emotional body. Maybe that is sometimes troublesome, and you're noticing that maybe you need to spend more time taking care of yourself and focus on your well-being. That is a great thing to be doing right now. With the issues with the organs, each organ is connected to a planet. So as a lot of this is occurring with the sun and the moon, this is consciousness and emotions. So that primordial water of noon that I talked about in 2021 that entered here brought a lot of dark matter energy as well. So NASA is basically trying to recreate the ancient Kemet rituals during that time. And it is my belief, based on what I have intuitively picked up, that they're trying to provide protection for themselves because of what's coming. I mentioned the end of slavery. So with the ending of certain ages and certain periods comes the effect of that, the reckoning of that. care.